Hello, good day, everyone. Thank you for attending today's educational session. My name is Ron Nolasco from International Trade Council, and I am delighted to be your moderator for today's session. Before we start our discussion, let's take care of some quick housekeeping matters. Firstly, can everyone hear me clearly? If you can, please type in yes in the chat box. All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Now let's ensure that everyone can see the presentation slides. If you're experiencing any issues with the audio or visual, please let us know in the chat box and I will assist you promptly. So it seems like everything is running smoothly. Just a quick reminder for our attendees. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to type in them in the Q&A box located in your webinar interface. We will address as many as questions as possible during the Q&A session following the presentation. So without any further ado, let's get started with our today's educational webinar. Our topic is AI in the IoT, revolutionizing connectivity and intelligence. Our speaker for today are Sunil Kamal, CEO of Sunix AI, and Timothy Gobel, CEO of Iconic AI. So welcome to our exciting webinar on discovering of the power of AI in IoT. Today, we will delve into how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing industries through proactive analysis and action. You'll get to see real cost case studies and learn about transformative benefits of integrating AI with IoT. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to reserve your. Let's get started, and please join me in welcoming Sunil Kamal and Timothy Gobel. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ron, for the warm introduction. And a special thanks to everyone present here for the today's session on AI in IoT. So let's get started. So the agenda for the today's session would be the basically introduction to the main IoT. We'll be starting with sections, wherein we'll be covering the sections right from what exactly is IoT, what are the technologies that contribute towards IoT, and then we'll talk about more of like use cases and the challenges and ethical considerations with respect to the implementation of AI in IoT. And of course, we'll also cover the future trends and the future roadmap on how this innovation looks like in the coming years to go. Especially, we'll also cover about the market size, the number of devices connected, and I'm sure that you guys will like this today's presentation. So let's dive into this. And yes, hello, this is Sunil here, the CEO of Synix AI. And along with me, we have Mr. Timothy Gobel, the CEO of Iconic AI from US. So I think, Tim, do you want to give a small introduction about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Timothy Goebel. I've been doing AI now for over 10 years, helping companies all around the world in AI, IoT. So I'll be glad to present with Sunil today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's get started. So this is how the flow of the presentation looks like. Let's have a brief overview of what IoT is because we have audience from different industries, right from the students maybe to people who are researching or the entrepreneurs in this industry. So we wanted to keep this as simple as possible but also try to cover this in the time frame that we have. And yes, so we'll go through what exactly AI is, what kind of ML algorithms we'd be using in using this technology. We'd also have benefits of AI in IoT. What are the advantages of implementing this, and how can you reduce the operational efficiency, covering various industries. And we have prepared some of the case studies for you for the big enterprises that are implementing this solution. And we'll have 3 to 4 case studies that we, made ready for you. And we'll also discuss what are the key technologies that are driving the AI in IoT. And rags is a very new buzzword coming in, so that's the reason why we wanted to cover this topic as well. So Tim will talk about the rags. And yes, let's get started. So the IoT is nothing but all of your devices connected to a cloud, you know gets processed in the cloud, and through an application or a software, the end user would be able to see it. But this IoT has many components in it and frameworks. So, out of which these are some of the important components that we have discovered today. So, IoT is all about exchanging the data that you have over the cloud, right? And how you're talking about real time analytics, because edge processing is booming in, and you have you know data being analyzed in the real time. Software is the core part of the entire IoT ecosystem, because through software, the users will be able to access the application, or the core system would be the software. Cybernetics is a very different industry. You can relate to cybernetics as the mechanical, physical, biological, cognitive, and social systems. So, to enable any device attached to an entity for storing, processing, sending, receiving data, this field is highly on demand. This is called cybernetics. Embedded systems is all about how the gadget contributes to CPS systems, and like camera, the temperature measurement, or I'm like it's like every device has its own embedded system here. And talking about the commodity sensors, IoT is nothing without the sensors, right? So each and every device that you use today has a sensor equipped with it, whether you're talking about autonomous driving vehicles, or whether you're talking about medical, healthcare, retail, agriculture, everywhere the sensors is equipped. It's about how you make use of the sensor data, how you pre-process it, and how you're able to provide a solution to the end user. And actuators are very important for the hardware components here. And we also have high performance computing. Like we have different type of computing for different industries, like we have fog computing, we have cloud computing, we have edge computing, and we have something called dew computing. So we have different types of computing as well. And cognitive science is very much related to the psychology, the neuroscience, or you can call it as like anthropology, computer science, and linguists. So cognitive science is also a part of the IoT ecosystem. And talking about the big data analytics, big data means everyone remembers the four V's, right? The volume, velocity, veracity, and the variety of the data that is being generated each and every day across the world. So that's about the big data analytics. And how are you automating this? Because we don't have humans who can literally go through this enormous amount of data and come up with insights. That's the reason why we have ML algorithms that identify the patterns in this data, and you can have proactive maintenance or proactive insights for the data that you have. So talking about how basically these IoT devices work, it's like uh, simple steps. You can start with the data collection first, or it's called data ingestion, where the sensor data is collected and sent to the cloud. And then we have the data transmission storage, in which the data, whatever you have, directly goes to one of the cloud systems that we have. And from there, it gets stored, so for further analysis. And after this, we have data processing where we try to clean the data, get rid of unwanted columns, and then try to see what you can do with that current data. So all this data processing happens in the cloud, and you have certain service providers who take care of this data processing, and you don't have to really worry about it at all. And then we have something called data prediction. This is where the exact ML algorithms comes into the picture. The type of algorithm that I'm going to tell you is about the clustering. Clustering is a ML technique that is basically used to basically identify the patterns in the images, right? So you can do that in the data prediction stage. And then the most important stage is called the data visualization. Data visualization is where the end user accesses the application, and you make it ready for the end user. So talking about what kind of sensors do we really have today, coming to the medical sensors. Medical is a very niche industry, and data protocols are very high. So some of the sensors maybe you would have come across in your day-to-day lives are like the air bubble detector, or the photo optic sensors, or the medical temperature sensors, or it can also be the P's sleep monitoring strips. So all these are medical sensors that capture the patient's data, and it can make the hospital smarter. So this contributes towards smart hospitals. And fitness trackers, I hope everyone is using fitness trackers to see how many steps you're taking, what's your heart rate, how many kilometers, what is your sprint, etc., all at your fingertips through an application, right? So you can access all of this using the fitness trackers. Smart farming, you know, farming agriculture is the backbone of any country. So the more these guys work towards automating on exactly what's happening to your crop, that's where you'll be able to take the valuable insights, and you can come up with proactive decisions. So coming talking about digital AR glasses, I think Apple Vision Pro would be the best example that I can give you. You know what wonders it can do. You can literally have your own screen. Without screen you can start working, and all this happens with sensors. So these devices are the crucial part for the AI industry. Smart contact lenses is something new that is coming up under the medical industry. Smart contact lenses are nothing but if you have corneal injuries, or if you have a allergic relief, then you can use the smart contact lenses to know more about what exactly your body is doing. So I think this is the upcoming trend, and I think coming to the actual industry, we can talk about this later. But smart contacts is something which is really doing good in this industry. Smart door lock is something which everyone is aware of. As soon as you get in, you talk to Alexa, you switch on the lights, and with respect to the cameras that are being used, the AIoT cameras can proactively take decisions. Or if it's not smart, we have cloud services that makes it smart. You can also detect intrusion detections and other things. So, talking about the market of the IoT, it's really huge. The market is projected to be at least 24.9 billion by 2027, which is really huge. You can see startups working on solutions across the world. And even in Shark Tank, I think we would have seen a couple of companies that are especially based on IoT. But IoT is different, AI is different. We are talking about how we can leverage the power of AI algorithms to basically uh, reduce the manual effort here. So the market is really huge, and it's growing compounded. It's going at a rate of 37.7%. The main reasons for this growth are like, the startups are investing, the government is also investing. The government is coming up with policies like smart cities. You want to monitor the garbage, you want to see the traffic demands, how is it going. So due to increasing demand, due to increasing government investments in these technologies, the market is so huge. The number of devices that are being connected to the internet is tremendous. Globally, it's projected to almost double from like 17 billion in 2024 to more than 29 billion devices in 2030. So be very safe with respect to your data. We wanted to highlight that because each and everything is being measured here. This data is then used by the companies to send you some of the marketing emails, right? So be very careful with respect to data. And companies are coming up with monetization on, they're asking you to work out more, and they'll try to reduce your health insurance premium in your next year. These are some of the tactics the people are using to make you active, to make you use, because data is the next oil. And you believe that because without data, no one can do anything. And this is how the companies are collecting the data across the world from your devices. And now maybe I'd request Tim to go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, you can start the slide. What is AI? AI simulates human intelligence in machines and practical computers. This includes learning, reasoning, and self correction. AI as a subfield includes machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, and other expert systems. You can move on to the next.
Yeah.
Types of AI there is narrow AI. Narrow AI is task specific of intelligent systems. General AI is human level cognitive abilities. Computer vision is analysis of images, videos, PDFs. GPT is advanced language generation models, which everyone's hearing about. That's like ChatGPT, large language models, and text based. Then you got natural language processing. NLP is understanding human language text. And then machine learning, data driven pattern recognition, reinforcement learning is learning reward based feedback. So you got a feedback loop in there. Go next slide. The benefits of AI and IoT is like enhanced data analysis. AI uncovers patterns, trends from the IoT data. Predictive insights is AIs enables decision making and preventative maintenance. Automation and intelligence, AI and IoT automatic optimize device operations. Go to the next slide.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. So,
Yeah.
talking more about the case studies that we are going to discuss, um, there are many case studies with respect to how this AI can be leveraged in IoT. But due to the time constraint, we are sticking to some of the important case studies here. So, talking about the retail sector first, retail industry is people driven. The more you understand the people coming into your store, the better profits you make. You have to keep an eye on the people on what product they're looking at. What kind of customer suggestions do you really want to provide it to them? In this industry, people don't have much devices to make use of. The first and more foremost thing that people has is the cameras. And if you have cameras, it's like you can incorporate the computer vision technology here. So, talking about the computer vision technology here, people are automating the stores with respect to the check-in and check-out. So, Amazon Go is one such example that we wanted to provide today. In Amazon Go, your experience is completely seamless. What happens is you walk into your store, you carry all the products without even scanning and just keep it in the basket, and literally it scans each and every product. And we do have technology where it identifies your facial recognition and pays for that instead of your fingerprints or instead of a pin due to some security reasons. So these kind of seamless experiences are coming in the computer vision industry. The other challenge that the retail companies are facing are the theft, detecting some of the fraudulent activities that are being done in retail stores. So what happens is you can detect the people's movement with respect to what they're doing, what products they are going, including their pose estimation. So all this has to be done in real time. So that's how computer vision plays a very important role in retail monitoring. So it also can, assist the retailers in optimizing the pricing strategy based on the demand and supply. So overall, incorporating these technologies would improve the operational efficiency of their retail users. And one more important thing with respect to retail is the inventory management. So there's one company in US called the Sam's Club, sorry. So what it does is it basically has scanning robots that literally go to each and every shelf, and it literally copies and immediately alerts the store manager to quickly restock the products. So that's how people are leveraging the power of computer vision and robots in this industry. And talking about the intelligent shopping cart is nothing but the smart basket that you carry in a retail store. You automatically put in products and you don't have to scan, and it literally knows what you're taking, right? And then you can just walk out of the store. That's how the intelligent shopping cart works. And even this is used for the product recommendations. For example, you take one product, and let's say there's another complementary product that they want to push you. They can do that. So you can have more information on the product recommendations as well. So that's one of the important parameter here. And people can also track the inventory, and it can also provide you the navigation assistance with respect to where you're going, and it can help you to walk in the store if it's big. Self checkout is one such use case. And again, you have to worry about the customers that are coming to your store, right? Because they want to park their car. So we have parking sensors that are deployed everywhere, which literally tells you which parking spot is empty, how many are empty, and what floor, etc. So this can be done through mobile app integration as well. And yes, the automotive industry, for example, maybe we can take up use case of Tesla, how this is useful for us. And automotive car relies only on the sensors that it has. It has to understand its environment because it's a driverless car. So it literally has to understand each and every scenario around it. So we are using AI and IoT in such a manner that it can contribute to the intelligent routing. It can provide you with the weather data. It can provide you with the real time traffic data using the data from the satellite. And it can also use your previous data to basically give you more inputs with respect to energy efficiency, or it can be energy management, or it can be monitoring the battery levels of your car. You can also see what's the energy consumption that's going on, etc. So it can also provide you with the most fuel efficient route. So these are all done real time using the sensors and the clouds, and the data is directly extracted from the satellites. So that's how the autonomous driving industry works. And the most complex use cases that we can see today are the driver behavior analysis. So you want to see if the driver is really drowsy, or if you can uh, identify his patterns while driving, or if he's rash driving, etc. So this also improves the environment sustainability as a whole. And we have Sorry, I forgot to cover that in the last slide, but I wanted to talk about the car entertainment part as well, where you again have voice assistants, you have smart playlists. So you literally want to enter a car, and it literally knows what exactly you're trying to play. So this is how the machine understands you. So that's how the hardware works, and that's how the software works. Coming back to the agricultural use case, as I said before, the precision farming is very important. So the more you understand your crop, right, the better yield you get. So we have seen scenarios where people place their sensors under the crops, and then they try to monitor using an application. You know when to water them. You based on the weather inputs, you can understand the temperature, you can understand the humidity, the pest infections, or the overall soil condition to make better data driven decisions. And it can also tell you more information on what level of waters that you need to use to basically conserve and keep your crop healthy. And The other use case is the livestock management. Livestock management is nothing but monitoring your cattle or any of your you know it can be cow or it can be cattle, anything. So it's like you have their real location, you know what to feed them, you know where they are going based on their GPS locations, and you can also predict some of the health issues that they have, or you can also predict the illness. So you can also predict the reproduction cycles and immediately alert the farmers for that. So the applications in the agriculture are so deep that they highly rely on the weather data and the sensor data to provide insights to the farmers through a very simple use case application.
Manufacturing. Manufacturing is pushing towards 4.0 or past 4.0. Right now, manufacturing is using IoT for predictive maintenance, for IoT sensors to monitor the equipment in real time, predict failures before they occur so that eliminates their downtime, optimize equipment lifespans and reliability. There's energy management systems that monitor the system energy operation, like the temperature in the buildings and stuff, and identifies efficiencies and areas for improvements, optimize energy consumption and reduce costs, support sustainability goals and regulate compliances. Then they use digital twin for virtual replication of the physical assets of the processes, allows real-time monitoring and analysis, predicts performance and behaviors of the equipment. Uh, you could do facility simulation and testing for optimization. So if you need to improve your facility, you could do it this way as well. Real-time product enhancement. IoT sensors collect product data during manufacturing, enables real-time quality monitoring and adjusts any feedback. So if there's like a quality control issue, it could send feedback back to the company to fix it immediately. Uh, Product production and customizations, supply chain optimization. IoT tracks goods and transits and inventory levels. So when they're building on production lines, enhances the visibility and transparency across supply chains, optimize the logistics and reduces lead times. By doing this stuff, it minimizes the disruption and improves the efficiencies. There's quality assurance in manufacturing, where IoT monitors the production process and defects, ensures the consistency of product quality, which reduces rework and waste of the company and speeds up time, enhances the compliance and standards of regulations. Other areas is safety improvements. IoT enables sensors monitoring in the workplace condition, alerts potential hazards over safety violations, enhances work safety compliance, reduces accidents, and improves operation efficiencies. You could use like cameras in that for monitoring the pose estimation of people to reduce ergonomics. Data-driven decision making. IoT generates real-time data analytics. By getting real-time analytics, you could send it to the cloud or an edge device. Provides actionable insights for decision making. Enables continuous processing and improvements. And supports strategic planning and competitive advantages in the company. You can go to the next slide. Cyber physical systems. This is for combining diverse disciplines such as machine learning and other devices here. You could combine these together and have them working all at once for decision making or operation predictions, uh, or apply semantic approaches to enhance CPS reliability and efficiency. Medtronics will integrate medical or mechanical, electrical, and controls. So you can monitor that stuff. Robotics enables autonomous operations. Cloud provides scalable. So if you wanted scalability, you would use the cloud. Cognitive science improves CPS interaction and decision making through human like cognitive ability. Wireless sensors and technology facilitate real time data acquisition and communications. We can go to the next slide. Robotics. Robotics like Pepper, you've been hearing about a lot of stuff lately in the news with robotics, humanoids being pushed out. Uh, SoftBank Robotics, humanoid robot for customer service and championship of what they're doing for the company. Uh, Social humanoids robot known for AI interactions and expressions. Kitchen robots, automate kitchen with robotic arms for cooking tasks. Welding robotics are precision welding performance by industrial robots and efficiency and accuracy. Now, these robots use all types of sensor data, so you're hitting a lot of IoT devices, computing, processing, and cameras as well. Go to the next slide.
Yeah. Great, thanks, Tim. But yeah, I interacted with a robot in Dubai, Tim, and it was so responsive that the expressions were so real. So the robotics, especially in the kitchen sector, was like the recent innovation I've seen, because especially the working mothers would be so happy with those results. I've seen it does like many dishes at a time. So I think it's a very good use case that we discussed about.
They're the newer ones that are coming out for like welding industry is because there's a gap in the welding industry where there's not enough welders out there. So now they had to make that automated by adding more welding robots with more autonomous use cases where they're on actually mobile devices and being able to weld. You could see it in Boeing. Boeing's using it, and some other companies are pushing forward with it as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Think about the data that is being generated. It's so huge, and we are happy that they mimic the human language, and they have the human intelligence, including the chat gpts. So that's such a very good innovation that we can see today. Sure. So coming back to the key technologies driving in iot, uh, just now we spoke about robots, so it's all about the hardware accelerators that you use in these robots. uh, we also have one such factor called AI, which basically does all kind of image recognitions. We have natural language processing, which understands the human language. We have robotic process automation, where you want to automate some of the workflows in your task. We have virtual agents, which exactly mimics what you are and gives a response like a human. And of course, the speech recognition. So, talking about the hardware accelerators here, most of these are dependent on the processing speeds. So you have to make use of the graphical processing units, the GPUs, and the next thing coming in, which is called the TPUs, which is tensor processing units. So for the amount of being generated, right? If you need quick response, then you have to increase the processing speed, and that only happens because of these processors. And the only reason why NVIDIA is so big today is only because of this. You understand the level of hardware that is required to run or fuel these kind of applications. And of course, when we talk about the smart cities, when you talk about the augmented reality and self-driving cars, the network plays a very important role. So the 5G network is one such good technology that we can see today. It's one of the driving technologies of AI and IoT. And again, the big data, you know, everything contributes to data in the end. So we have big data as well. So now I think Tim will talk more about the racks.
Now, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail of RAGs because RAGs alone is huge. A lot of companies are pushing forward and building customized RAGs. So RAGs, what is a retrievable augmented generation? Is RAG? How does it work? Well, it's integrated to external database and retrieval into response generation. So it does human responses or robotic responses based off of the databases that you could train your own on. This method enhances accuracy, reliance, and leverages up to date information. So if you wanted your own, you could have your own database of your own information, have it always updating. Or you could leave it, but I recommend always updating your data because you could have data drifting or stuff like that. So always continuously updating and getting the responses back. And this works very well for like chatbots and that. We can go to the next slide. The applications and benefits I just spoke on, like a chatbot, and that's basically what these help with is content creation, enhances content quality with up-to-date information, and questions and answers system provides precise, relevant responses instantly. And that is instantly based on the database that it was trained on. The benefit is it increases accuracy and delivers more precise, reliable outputs. Enhances specific tailor response to specific queries of the topics. Flexibility adapts to varying information needs, effective. And you can even create prompts for these based on certain prompts as well.
So taking a look at some of the important use cases, the real use cases that we have today. One such thing is the London City Airport. The other one, the autonomous vehicles by Tesla. We have Walmart, which is implementing AI IoT based cameras in stores, and Amazon Go for automated checkouts. London City Airport, I've seen it. It's good with respect to what technology they are using, especially with the amount of footfalls that the airport has. They have to come up with more and more innovations with respect to how they deal with the customers or their customer experiences. One such very important factor is the security. So, the speed of security screening is very important to avoid the queues. And we have seen scenarios where I think you directly put your bag in the x-rays and it scans for it, and you have a human who is looking at the luggage, right? But we are seeing scenarios where a cloud-based solution is coming in which automatically detects some of the harmful objects. For example, if there's a knife in your bag, it can identify without a human. So these kind of automated scenarios we are able to see in the airports. So this is very good, a use case that I'm talking about. And passenger experience can be again related to the parking facilities, or how they are interacting, or how the marketing agencies are coming up with their campaigns in the launch wherever you're sitting. So all these contributes to the technology, and it for the airport, consumer experience is the top priority, and of
The,
course their safety.
one other thing I would add to your thing is it can monitor the cognitive services of the guests coming into the airport in and out and be able to monitor what type of actions they are presenting for safety and stuff.
No, yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, I think baggage is one such important factor. I hope you would have never missed your baggage. Yes, one out of 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs customers, but yeah, it's very rare. But absolute zero scope for errors with respect to baggage handling I've seen in these scenarios. How they're doing it, it's all because of the advanced analytics to follow your bag, maybe with respect to the RF tag that your bag has, and it passes through the system, and literally it reduces the probability of the misplaced luggages. Of course, as I said, autonomous vehicles by Tesla, as you can see here, it can literally read each and every point data that is in front of its car, whether it can be pedestrian, reading the stop signs. It can be with respect to zebra walks. It has to immediately activate as braking system for the life safety. So autonomous vehicles is a very niche. I mean, where you have zero scope for errors. You literally cannot make an error. So we have again ultrasonic sensors. You have cameras. You have radar sensors which can analyze the speed of the other vehicles. Accordingly, it can take a decision. And fleet learning is to gather the data within the fleet, within the car. So it's about how often you brake, what is your top speed, and the other things. Deep learning, again, taking the action in real time. Again, deep learning is a very different industry which is developing applications in this sector. So deep learning has more to do with the IoT architecture part. So it's about incorporating AI again in this IoT sensors. Yes, coming to the Walmart, I think with respect to the energy management, they have facilities where they automatically adjust the cooling temperatures in the space to basically have uh, automatic analyzing or monitoring of temperatures. So logistics, you place your RFID tags, you check in and check out. That's basically the Walmart's use case. And the same goes with Amazon's use case, as I discussed before. So it contributes to automatic checkouts, the personalized suggestions with respect to what you're doing. And of course, yeah, with respect to retail, I forgot to point out one more thing. You have a 3D try on feature in some of the stores where it literally creates your 3D figure and you can actually have a try on. And at the same time, you have style recommendations. What pant goes with what shirt is something you can automatically decide with these kind of systems. And next, we can talk
Challenges
about challenges. Yeah.
challenges and consideration. Data security is huge right now with privacy, protecting personal data aimed at AI and IoT integration, interoperability for standards, ensuring capabilities and industry-wide integration standards, ethical and social implications, addressing biases, job impact, social implication of AI and IoT, scalability, managing and scaling AI solutions across expanding IoT networks. Go next. Future of AI is edge computing, real time data processing, and analytics at the edge network. This is the closest to the actual devices. That's why they use edge. Uh, AIoT is ecosystem expansion, collaboration, partnership of innovation use cases across industries, human collaboration, AI augmentation, and its impact on the future work dynamics. Federated learning decentralizes machine learning for privacy preserving and data collaboration. Autonomous AI in robotics is enabling independent efficient IoT operations. The road ahead of IoT is Industry 4.0, enhancing smart manufacturing and digital transformation in the industries. Social impact and sustainability addresses social challenges and prompts environmental sustainability. Call to action is embracing AI's transformative potential for sustainable, inclusive future.
Thank you, Tim. Ron, I think we are approaching the end of session, and maybe me and Tim are ready to take questions here.
All right, so thank you for that informative presentation. And now it's time to open the floor for questions from our audience. Please feel free to type your questions in the Q&A box and or in the chat box. Before we proceed with the questions and while we are waiting, I just want to make a few announcements. So for those who are not yet a member of International Trade Council and you would like to be a member, we are offering free membership for attending this educational session. Please feel free to send me an email. And this webinar is recorded. If you would like to review the replay, you can visit to our YouTube channel. It should be posted in the next few days. International, just type in International Trade Council. And lastly, you will receive a certificate of participation for attending this session in the next 24 to 48 hours. So yeah, let's start with the questions. Yeah, we have a question here from Jitender Singh. Let me project the question on the screen. So we are a startup in the area of IoT and AI for fashion industry. The biggest challenge we are facing is the training data as this is not the easily available for slightly more complex problem statements. So how should we handle this?
Tim, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, with the fashion industry and uh, can you repeat that question again?
Sorry. It's actually on the screen. Let me just repeat the question. We are a startup company. We startup in the area of IoT and AI for fashion industry. The biggest challenge we face is the training data, as this is not easily available for slightly more complex problem statements.
There a couple areas you could do is you could create synthetic data for it, but then you dealing with lighting. Is it going to be a device that's on a phone, or is it a device that you're actually selling to a company? If it's a device that you're selling to a company, you would have actually make sure the right cameras are spec'd out for it, and also the for the data set, you'd have to create all types of data from synthetic and non-synthetic, and there's many ways you could do it with synthetic, which does work.
Yeah,
But you got to balance it correctly, especially with the lighting conditions.
yeah. To add to Tim, I would say, uh, training data preparation is the biggest challenge. I completely agree with you, Jitendra. So to speed up, what you can do is you can speed up the type of annotations you do, right? You can use something called SAM, segment anything model, that can be integrated to your labeling workflow, and it automatically reduces the manual effort. So as Tim said, increase the size of the training data with respect to different lighting conditions, and then with respect to different contrast of the fashion industry. And once this is done, there are automated workflows in all the labeling platforms that will help you prepare the right training data set. So one such approach is what Tim said, the synthetic data. But if the results are not good, I would definitely recommend you to manually collect the data in other fashion websites, import it to a labeling platform, create some automatic polygons, do some segmentation, use a SAMS model, and I think that should work out.
Yeah, I
All
agree
right.
with you.
Thank you so much for that. Next question here. Great presentation, very informative. What are some useful resources for AI do you think people should check out?
Useful resources. There's many groups on LinkedIn you can go to. I'm part of a bunch that put out a lot of resources. There's a lot of online courses you could take, and there's a ton that are free out there now with certifications you can take. Um, like IBM has one, NVIDIA has one, Coursera has some, and there's many more. Even top colleges are putting some out, free courses out on this stuff if you want to get more information. Otherwise, what I would do is reach out to experts like Sunil, myself, and we could always give a hand.
All right, thank you. Next
Thank you, Tim.
question. All right, so hi, I'm a business analyst at the search fund looking at companies in IoT and manufacturing industry. For the business side of things for manufacturing industry, would you say adopting a new IoT solution is a high capex for the company?
Yes, maybe Tim, I can take the question. So,
Yeah.
uh, implementing IoT-based solutions is really expensive. If you really want to start from scratch, right, as I told you about the data processing techniques, which are very cloud intensive. So a lot of cloud costs are coming in, and the initial AI and IoT that you would like to deploy would come at least $7,000 to $8,000 per month. That's according to the research that we did. So if you really want to restrict the amount of data that you're dealing with, that's fine. But you know, don't start it from scratch. But otherwise, use IoT based platforms. Like every company has it. Google has it. Microsoft has it, and you know, even IBM has it. So use those kind of platforms where they have automatic algorithms which are already set up, and you can just make use of them. But yeah, initial cost with respect to developing this kind of solution is really high. I agree with you,
The
Irina. I
other
think
piece
I've
that's really high on it to jump in on this is uh, the hardware. If you don't spec out the hardware correctly, your prices are going to go start skyrocketing all over the place because one is you're not specing out the hardware correctly. So that is critical to make sure you get the correct hardware so you're not dumping a ton of money out there. And you could also use NVIDIA. NVIDIA has models too that you could run it on edge devices. And once you run it on the edge, you could deploy it right to the cloud from the edge.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the next question. I am interest I am interesting about the I am interested about the energy stock market. How AI can make clean energy more competitive. Of course, laws, etc. depends on the country you produce green energy.
Yeah, I think energy sector is something which Tim spoke about, and to
I could hit
monitor
on it
energy,
if you want.
the
I've
carbon
worked in
footprint.
I
Go
worked
ahead.
in one energy sector for a company just recently, and there is companies out there that have this down pat that that are doing this, and it reduces the cost of like in manufacturing drastically. The especially with all the machines running, and because you get that inrush current. So if you want more of that, you can reach out to me outside of this because that's a deep conversation we could go into, and I could give you companies that have mastered this.
All right, thank you. Yeah. All right, so we can still have one question here, last one question. So 1 second. All right. So under the competitive environment of IoT industry dominated by IoTs of big players, what do you think is the strategic advantage where small private businesses can potentially have market opportunities?
I think I have a counter question to Irina saying, what exactly you're looking for? Because you said competitive environment of the IoT industry. Yes, of course, I agree. Big players are definitely there because the automated platforms are generated. When you said what do you think is the strategic advantage where players like you can capture the market, then I wanted to ask you what kind of solution you're trying to give it to your customers, what kind of industry you're talking about. So I think if I can get more insights on that, we can throw some light on that. But Tim, feel free to answer the
I
question.
would, I would actually piggyback off you. What is your niche in the market?
Yeah,
Because IoT is so big. You need to know if you want to get into the market and being a small player, what niche are you bringing and what area is it medical, is it non-medical? I know in medical there's a lot of laws and legal stuff that you have to go through that's millions of dollars. So now in manufacturing, it's not much. There's you can just dive right into it. Even in home IoT stuff. So the biggest is we can't really describe which area unless we know what's your niche of the IoT.
Understood. Okay, so I think, Irina, please feel free to reach out to Timothy or Sunil for further discussion as we don't have enough time. Tim, if you could please type in your email address on the chat box, also Sunil, so that everyone can can reach out to you directly if you would like to discuss more about the topic outside this educational session.
Actually, I'll put the link to my LinkedIn, and
LinkedIn.
Okay,
if you have
perfect.
questions, just reach out to me there and contact me, connect with me.
All right, that's perfect. And all right, so before we end this educational session, I would like to get the final statement from our speaker, Tim and Sunil.
You can go ahead,
A-
Sunil.
Sorry, come again, Ron.
any final statement from our attendees before we end the session?
No, I think I have a thanks note to give at the end because you guys, wanted to know what exactly is happening, and I hope the presentation helped you. And we will definitely be there to, assist you in terms of what questions you have. But yeah, thanks everyone for attending this session. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you as well. And any questions you have, please reach out to us. Either one of us could help out with any of it, or reach out to both of us. We both be glad to help you out in any ways that we can.
All right, so on behalf of International Trade Council, I would like to thank everyone for joining our webinar on Discover the Power of AI and IoT. We hope you found the insights and case studies we shared valuable and inspiring. AI is indeed transforming industry in remarkable ways, and we are excited to see how it will continue to drive innovation and efficiency. Don't forget to reserve your slot or spot for our next educational session. Have a great day, and we look forward seeing you in the next time. Have a wonderful
Thank you,
day,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you, Sunil and Tim.
Yeah, very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.